Welcome to this Masterclass Explainer. Look, if you're a CIO, a security architect, or a compliance officer, you are already living right in the middle of the ultimate tech tension. On one hand, we absolutely crave the raw, game-changing power of autonomous AI, but on the other hand, we absolutely demand enterprise-grade safety. There is literally no room for error. So today, we're going to explore the ultimate bridge between those two worlds. It's called the ACE framework, and it is completely establishing the white box standard for AI governance.
We've got a lot of ground to cover, so let's quickly map out where we're headed. We'll start with the black box dilemma, move into the shared brain, talk about learning without retraining, hit on human-in-the-loop sanitization, explore deterministic evolution, and wrap up with governance-first architecture.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1, the black box dilemma, and the problem with submitting to opaque neural weights. Here's the reality. The untamed, unpredictable nature of AI is fundamentally at odds with enterprise safety. To solve this massive liability, the ACE framework completely shifts our methodology. We're moving away from casual, unpredictable conversations and shifting to structured, auditable transactions. We're ripping out opaque neural weights and replacing them with plain text playbooks. And a huge win for your budget, we're swapping out incredibly costly machine learning fine-tuning for simple, plain text updates.
So, what does this all mean? It boils down to a crucial paradigm shift: control through transparency. You see, true control in an enterprise setting simply does not come from locking an AI's behavior away inside a black box. No way. True control comes from human-readable, plain text configuration that explicitly governs exactly how the AI behaves step by step.
Moving on to Section 2, let's introduce the shared brain, which acts as the digital blueprint of the AI.
To actually achieve this level of transparency, we have to completely dismantle the traditional sci-fi concept of an AI brain. Believe it or not, in the ACE framework, the AI's memory isn't some hidden, incomprehensible model at all. The brain is literally just a folder in your repository, specifically the .ace directory. This acts as the central nervous system. All your rules of engagement, your strict security standards, your procedural skills, they're stored entirely in plain text Markdown and JSON files. You can just open them up, read them like a book, and understand exactly what the AI knows.
Think of it like a highly structured digital blueprint. Every single subdirectory has a strict, specific purpose and a very specific level of mutability. For example, your standards, those are non-negotiable and immutable. Changing them requires a formal architecture decision record. Your skills are append-only, and your domain knowledge is allowed to evolve. This ingenious structure keeps the AI permanently locked into your specific, approved enterprise architecture.
Which brings us to Section 3, learning without retraining, or what we call the white box learning loop.
Now, you might be wondering, if the brain is just a bunch of text files, how does the system actually get smarter without going through costly retraining? Well, the secret is a formalized workflow called the triad. It works like this. Step 1. The generator agent executes a task and meticulously logs its exact reasoning and actions. Step 2, an adversarial reflector agent reviews that trace, figures out exactly what worked or what failed, and distills that into a natural language lesson. Finally, Step 3, a curator agent integrates that new insight directly into the plain text playbook. The AI is literally writing new standard operating procedures for itself in plain English.
Okay, Section 4. Let's talk about human-in-the-loop sanitization and how this empowers your domain experts.
Because this entire learning loop generates plain text rather than messing around with opaque neural weights, it opens a massive, game-changing door for human oversight. Honestly, this is where the magic really happens for security architects and compliance officers. We call this white box auditing. Since the AI's learned behaviors are just text files, a human domain expert can manually review, edit, or completely sanitize those rules to absolutely guarantee compliance. If the AI learns a shortcut that accidentally violates a security policy, you don't need a massive data science effort to make it unlearn the bad habit. You literally just open the Markdown file and delete the sentence. It's that simple.
Just think about what this actually means for your organization. Any business analyst, any security officer, or legal expert can directly inspect and edit the AI's core logic. You absolutely do not need a data science degree to know exactly what the AI is going to do next. You are physically guaranteeing that every single automated action perfectly aligns with your company's policies.
But of course, this raises a pretty critical question for any executive managing enterprise systems. As this AI continues to learn and update its own playbooks day after day, how does it learn without accidentally forgetting its core safety rules? How do we prevent the system from degrading over time, a really dangerous phenomenon known as context drift?
That takes us to Section 5, Deterministic AI Evolution, and protecting the core architecture.
So how do we stop that context drift? We do it through deterministic learning and a really clever protocol called anti-collapse appends. Let's be real for a second. Left to their own devices, AI models are notoriously lazy. They suffer from something called brevity bias. If you ask an AI to rewrite a complex file, it will almost certainly summarize it and accidentally delete crucial nuances. To stop this, the AC framework explicitly forbids agents from ever rewriting your standard files. Instead, every single update has to pass through a strict programmatic update harness.
The structure of these appends is brilliant. The agents can only add to their knowledge base through controlled pathways that safely concatenate new rules to the very bottom of the files. This physically locks the AI out from overriding your core rules. It completely prevents context collapse over time. Your safety parameters, your invariants, your security rules, they only ever grow stronger. They are never, ever accidentally forgotten.
Finally, let's wrap up with Section 6, Governance-First Architecture and Creating Audit-Ready AI Deployments. Let's bring this all together for the C-suite. By grounding your AI in this framework, you aren't just deploying a tool, you are deploying a system with built-in regression guards and root cause analysis integration. Before the AI modifies even a single line of code, it checks a YAML file of guarded invariants. It reads the historical context of exactly why a piece of code exists in the first place. Every single architectural decision is tracked, which means every deployment, every action is instantly, fully, and completely audit-ready.
I really want to leave you with this definitive statement. True control over autonomous AI does not require a data science degree, and it certainly doesn't require opaque fine-tuning. It requires transparent, plain text documentation. The future of safe, enterprise-grade AI is absolutely white box, where compliance and logic are fully readable by both humans and machines. So I'm going to leave you with this final, somewhat provocative thought to take back to your teams. If your enterprise AI's brain isn't an open book of plain text playbooks, who is really in control of your governance? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Until next time, stay curious and stay in control.